Johnny. No. No. Here, watch out. Let me get on the other side.
Imagine it's the end of a long work week, or maybe you just had a rough day. So you're looking for something to, take the edge off just a little bit, a little something, very much something, but not too much, right? So you go over to the local gas station or your local convenience store, and maybe you were going to get a BEER or WINE. And the only reason I'm spelling it out is because of like YouTube community guidelines. But instead of getting one of those, you see a little blue bottle that's a natural supplement, and it promises to help you relax and lift your spirits, right? And lift your mood. Now imagine if that same drink leaves you addicted and changes your life in unimaginable ways. Now imagine that your kid would even buy it. Today we're going to be talking about the feel free drink from Botanic Tonics.
You're officially coming with me. You got that till the club gone, you can drink. You friends ain't we don't care what they think.
Hey, I'm Miss April May, and I hope you're having a blessed day. Now, before we get started with this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like and share the video as well. I would very much appreciate it. So if you haven't heard about the Feel Free drink yet, that probably means that you're not on TikTok or you don't spend a lot of time there, but I do, okay? So I initially heard about the Feel Free drinks, I want to say like in the springtime of this year. But then the last few weeks, probably like the last month or so, I really noticed an uptick in the number of people talking about it, the number of videos people are making about it on TikTok. And I'm talking some of these videos have like hundreds of comments, thousands of views, right? So people are really taking notice of the drink and also spreading awareness about the drink. So the Feel Free drink by Botanic Topics, why do I keep saying Botanic Topics? Botanic Tonics, okay, is very dangerous and it's also highly addictive. Like people are also calling it gas station, and I'll put the word here because it's that addictive, okay? So even in my area, I have noticed those drinks in like the gas stations, especially. I've seen them, but me personally, even before seeing the videos about the drink, I was never interested in trying it because I just assumed that it was like an energy drink, something like 5 Hour Energy or Monster, which I don't mess with those anyway. Like God made coffee. Oh, there's my cat. God made coffee. Like, why do I need an energy drink, right? Like, coffee's enough caffeine for me. Okay. The last time I even drank a Red Bull was probably well over a decade ago. Okay. Remember that song? I'm drinking rum and Red Bull. Yeah, that was the last time I drank a Red Bull because my heart was pounding out of my chest. Oh, like I said, this stuff is highly addictive, and I definitely fell down the TikTok rabbit hole and just went through video after video after video. Like, there are people saying that they were drinking 5, 10 of them a day, just astronomical numbers, right? When you think like if someone said, oh, I drink 5 sodas, like 5 cans of soda a day, you would say, oh, yeah, you're definitely addicted to soda, right? But the difference with this is soda is probably not going to send you to rehab, right? There are plenty of people addicted to soda. So, first thing first, we're going to hear from a young lady who talks about the addiction she had to this feel free drink. And now, thankfully, she is clean from it. But let's hear from her because this is definitely something you need to hear. After this clip, make sure you stick around for the rest of the video because I'm going to be giving you a bit of information about how Botanic Tonics was sued and had a large class action lawsuit, which led to them making some changes in the way that feel-free drinks are sold.
Hi guys, my name is Jasmine. I was addicted to the little blue bottles called Feel Free by Botanic Tonics. I was drinking anywhere from 9 to 12 a day at the height of my addiction, sometimes more than that, sometimes less than that. They have these two ingredients in them primarily, and I'm going to give kind of a month by month breakdown of how my addiction progressed, because it did not just go from 1 to 12 bottles at the very beginning. It was a very, very slow progression, and I make this video to show you guys that some products that are marketed as all natural, as alcohol alternatives, can seem really good for you at first and then very quickly turn on you. Okay, so let's talk about the first 6 months of taking these. To give some context, I got sober from alcohol in June of 2022, so this is around when I started taking the Feel Free tonics. During the first 6 months, I really had zero issues with them. Honestly, I thought it was a great alcohol alternative. It made me feel more social, more energized, more productive, but I would typically only take them during social events. I could go weeks at a time without having one, so I felt like I had a really good grip on my use of these. So 6 months to a year, my usage did progress. I would take them more frequently during social events. It was like probably every social event I was going to, I was taking at least one of them. The time between me actually taking them got shorter and shorter, so instead of going, say, like 2 weeks without them, it would be maybe 5 days without them, but still, I felt like I had a pretty decent grip on the usage. This is when I would start to notice mental come downs, not physical withdrawals necessarily, but these emotional withdrawals where I would feel more grumpy or irritated the next day after taking a couple. So at a year to about a year and 3 months, so 12 months to 15 months of usage, this is when the usage started to drastically increase, and I felt myself developing a pretty heavy dependency on them. At this point, I started taking at least one a day, sometimes like 3 to 5 a day, and this is when I started to feel physical withdrawals when I wouldn't take them. So I would honestly like really chalk it up to allergies a lot of the times, because I live in Texas. I get really bad allergies, and that's kind of what the physical withdrawals felt like, sort of flu-like symptoms. I would wake up feeling really irritated and feel like I needed to take one. So that is when the addiction started to kind of snowball a little bit more out of control. This was also at the point where I felt very irritated and grumpy if I did not have a tonic or two for a social event. I needed one for every single social event I was participating in. If I was with family or friends, I wanted to have a tonic with me at all times. I was also in a really bad place at my last job. I was starting to develop pretty severe depression from that job, a lot of anxiety, so I was taking them more and more throughout the day. At this point, I was taking them at work, and it became much more of a daily habit. Talk about when the addiction got to its absolute worst. This was at the 15-month, about a year and 3 months to a year and a half mark. This is when I would wake up every single morning in severe physical withdrawal, and I was taking them as soon as I would wake up, and then all throughout the day until I went to sleep. Sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night and take them too. This is when it got to 9 to sometimes 12 bottles a day at the very, very height of the addiction. I was severely physically dependent at this point, and it's like there was a very quick just like decline in my health, just quick incline on my dependency to these. So I make this video because, again, I want people to be aware of how quickly these things can turn on you. And at this point, I was nauseous all the time. I was throwing up a lot because I was taking these. They make you really sick. I had super dry and flaky skin, primarily from the Kava. I was super lethargic. Depression was at its worst because of these, because my dopamine levels in my brain were just completely out of whack. And I was just taking them to feel some sort of normalcy. I definitely didn't feel normal because I was physically dependent on this. But I just felt absolutely awful. And that is, of course, I talk about when I got sober at a year and a half mark. I got sober in March of 2024. Thank God I'm a year clean from these. At that point, though, it felt like there was no way out. It felt like there was no hope. I tell people, you know, what got me out of that addiction was confessing it to others and not keeping it in isolation anymore, because keeping it in isolation was just festering the addiction constantly. And because of the love of family and friends, and of course, God getting me out and redeeming me from that addiction, I'm clean now. But yeah, it just went from like 0 to 100 really, really quick. So please be careful. Please read ingredients, and please do your research on products that you might be interested in trying. This is just my personal experience. So I hope that this has shed some insight on this addiction and how it can very quickly progress.
Now, if you're sitting here wondering to yourself, what is the big deal about this drink? What makes it so addictive? How are people getting hooked to this drink in this little blue bottle, right? Here's the tea on Feel Free. It is marketed as a natural alcohol alternative. So in someone's mind who's like, oh, I want to stop drinking, or someone who like struggles with sobriety and they're like, I can't drink alcohol, but maybe they still want to be social and they see natural alcohol or alternative. They're like, oh, this is something that I can drink and be social with my friends, or to have a good time, lift my spirits, lift my mood, whatever. But actually, it is not FDA regulated, approved. There's no regulations around it, because the FDA doesn't deal with supplements, okay? And it is marketed as a supplement drink. Now, like I said, it's not FDA approved or regulated, and it's made with Kava. Now, Kava is supposed to have like calming effects, and it also acts as a depressant and slows down your brain and nervous system. And that by itself doesn't sound great and appealing. But anyway, so number 1, it has Kava in it, and number 2, it has Kratom. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, and honestly, I don't think I want to know. I'm just gonna call it Kratom. So Kratom has psychoactive effects and opioid-like properties. opioid-like properties. So that is why people call it gas station heroin. Okay. I'm old school. We say heroin. Anyway, so as of late, literally just a few weeks ago, the FDA has finally decided to try to do something. I guess they have finally caught wind of the complaints that people have made, people getting sick, people ending up in rehab, all of these TikTok videos. And on July 29th of this year, 2025, the FDA announced that is recommending Kratom be added to the scheduling action or the added list of drugs. So the scheduling action is basically like the government list of drugs that tell you where on the scale drugs fall. So something, for example, like acetaminophen or ibuprofen is one level, whereas something like the cocaine is another level. Okay. So that is of late. But as it stands right now, only 6 states have outlawed Kratom. And that is Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Wisconsin. Only 6 out of the 50. So it's only in those 6 states that you can't find something like the feel-free drink or any product that uses or has Kratom in it. And it's a very sad case. It's very unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that people, adults, are falling into drinking this stuff and becoming addicted. But it's not just adults, unfortunately, right? It's also kids. And as a former high school teacher, if there's one thing I know, is that kids love energy drinks. I cannot tell you how many times as a teacher I had a student, especially the young boys, right? And I was a high school teacher, so teenagers, 14, 15, 16, right? And I can't tell you how many times I had a kid come in that classroom, 8 o'clock in the morning with a Red Bull or a Monster. And I was just like, what are you doing? They would say, oh, miss, it's good. I love it. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So it's not surprising that there are also kids drinking this stuff, because there are adults who aren't even aware of how dangerous this stuff is, right? How dangerous feel-free drinks are. So if many adults don't know, then kids definitely don't know. And they look at it and they just think this is like a 5-hour energy drink. So next we're going to hear from a gentleman on TikTok who had an encounter with a teenager who wanted him to buy feel-free drinks, and the kid actually tried to rob him. So here we go.
Hi, no joking in this video. This is a warning, specifically for parents, but I guess really for anybody. Something truly disturbing just happened to me. I just stopped for gas on my way home, and while I was there, I wanted a beverage, so I went to go inside. So as I'm walking in, I am approached by a child. I mean, this kid, he was maybe 14 years old, and he comes up to me and he says, hey, can you buy me some Feel Free? I didn't understand what he was talking about, but I said, do you need food or something? And he said, no, I need Feel Free. And I was like, I'm sorry, no. And this young kid lunged at me and tried to take my wallet out of my hand. I grabbed it really fast and I just went inside. So I go inside, I grab my drink, I go up to the cashier and I was like, hey, just so you know, there's like some kid out there. He was asking me to buy something for him and he like tried to grab my wallet, and she was just like, oh my gosh, it's this. And she pointed to this little blue bottle on the counter that I've never seen before. Looks like that. And I was like, oh, what's that? Like a 5-hour energy? And she was like, no, this stuff is so sad. I have people coming in here 5-6 times a day to get this. It's so addictive. And people lose their minds. People act like actual crackheads, or like they have heroin addictions over this little drink. So I get home and I look into this. People are literally going to rehab over this drink that is legal in most states in the US, that is sold at gas stations. I mean, it's called Feel Free, but traps you in addiction. That feels very nefarious. But I don't think that we talk enough about things that are legal but sold next to gum and energy drinks. And yeah, this kid was so young, and like his face is like just burned into my memory about how lost he looked. So please be careful.
Now, as we saw in that video, like I said already, very unfortunate. This kid outside of a store wanted this man to buy him these feel-free drinks, and the guy said no because he didn't even know what the kid was talking about, and the kid tried to rob him, right? But a part of the reason that this kid even asked this man, right, he's an adult, to buy him this drink is because of the class action lawsuit that happened not too long ago, actually, against Botanic Tonics. Now, because of this class action lawsuit, it led to some changes that Botanic Tonics had to make or decided to make, not quite sure. But either way, they had to make some changes where now the minimum age to buy it is 21 years old. And just hearing that, that should automatically like give you pause, right? Whether you're an adult or even a teenager, that if you have to be 21 years old to buy it, that this product has to have some type of effects that you have to be an adult to partake in or to be able to make the decision to use it, right? Just like alcohol, just like cigarettes or vapes, whatever, right? You have to be 18 for some and 21 for others, right? But you have to be of a certain age to say, I understand the consequences of this product and using it and buying it. So because of this class action lawsuit and the potential effects of the product, Botanic Tonics had to make some changes to the way they marketed the product and the actual product itself. So now there are actually two products, okay? There's the Feel Free drink and then there's the Feel Free Classic. So the Feel Free drink has Kava, but the Feel Free Classic has Kratom and Kava. And Kratom is the main ingredient that's the most addictive. So one has it, one doesn't. One has Kava, one has Kava and Kratom. And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't want either one. Like, I'm good, right? Count me out of it. I don't want it, okay? So they made those changes, but my question is always going to be, okay, if there wasn't this class action lawsuit or just some type of lawsuit in general, this company was never going to make changes, right? Like, let's just call a spade a spade. They were never going to make changes unless forced. Either companies do something they're not supposed to or have a product that is dangerous, and then they don't make changes until, not by people's complaints, is either A, the government steps in and says, hey, we got a problem here, you need to do X, Y, and Z, or lawsuits. And that's how we got here. Thankfully, because of the class action lawsuit, because of the multiple TikTok videos and how those videos are being shared, the number of comments under them, right? There is now, I think we're getting to the point of awareness about Feel Free and just about, I would say, Kratom in general, and how dangerous and addictive and the repercussions of using it, right? But it's not just the TikTokers who are bringing awareness to this stuff, right? If you know me in real life, I live on Reddit. Like, me and Reddit, we like this, okay? I live there. Get me a pillow and a blanket. Like, if it was an actual physical place, it would be my home, okay? I live there. And there is actually a subreddit called Quitting Feel Free. I believe that's the name of it. Yeah, Quitting Feel Free. And there are numerous accounts of people talking about going to rehab, spending crazy amounts of money. Each drink costs, I believe, $8.99. I think between like $8 and $10. And there are people who are like, I drink 5 a day, 10 a day. So if it's like $9 and you're drinking 10 a day, that's $90 a day. That's a very, very expensive habit to have. On this subreddit, people have complained about symptoms like mental and emotional distress, being irritable, physical symptoms like vomiting, nausea, extreme fatigue. I've even seen people talk about like having super dry skin that just kind of like flakes off, right? All sorts of mental, emotional, and physical ailments, as well as withdrawals. And right at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a clip from a TikTok video I found of a man actually going through physical withdrawals, like in the hospital. It was very scary to watch and honestly sad, okay? And I hope he's okay. So before I end this video, I am going to leave you, like I said, a few more clips of people talking about, I'll just call them feel-free horror stories, okay? So I'm going to leave you with a few clips of that. And before I do that, I just want to say, please, if you are someone who has taken these things before or drank them before, or you know someone who has, please leave your comments and your stories down below in the comments, because you never know who's going to read it. You never know how it could change someone's life. You never know how it can give someone the inspiration or motivation to stop, or how it could just scare someone straight, and so that they see it in the store and they don't even bother to try it. You just never know. You could literally be changing someone's life for the better. So please leave your stories below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and that you like and share the video. I'm Miss April May, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I'm actually going to discard of it right now because I have no intentions of drinking this. I'm sure we've all seen a video of the guy saying how he almost got his wallet snatched by a teenager who was looking to spend money on the feel-free drink. These are highly addictive. I was going through the rabbit hole. I'm seeing people in the comments saying how it ruined their parents' marriage, and people are like, you know, draining their accounts, drinking 9 to 10 of these a day. These are like $9. So if you're drinking 9 to 10 of these a day, that's a huge money issue and a health issue because they're addicting. And it's not even FDA approved, so you really don't even know what you're putting in your body. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like the more awareness we bring to it, we could possibly do something to get it off the shelves. I mean, that's how a lot of things work. And I don't want anyone to make the mistake and go purchase one themselves thinking that it's actually a herbal plant-based supplement, because somebody could accidentally grab one of these not knowing the potential hazards that are involved with this. So stay away from the feel-free drinks. These are terrible. They're addicting. This is empty. I just poured it out. I got the video for it. I didn't drink it. Not gonna drink it. Don't plan on drinking it. Won't even lick it. Not gonna taste it. Stay away from these. I don't know. It smells like ginseng or something else, but I have no intentions on drinking this, so I'm just gonna dump it out. It's trash. Trash. Stay away from these. Don't get them.
Johnny. No. No. Here, watch out. Let me get on the other side. You're all right, baby. Lay back down. You're all right. You're all right. No, you're all right. No. No.
Hey, this is day 2 of saying everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright.
You're officially coming with me.